We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the New York Jets and their inner-city rivals, the New York Giants. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
It's the battle for New York, or New Jersey for that matter. The Giants and Jets are underway. Well, now how about this return? And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Ole Miss.
For every rookie prospect, there are always nerves involved in this moment, running your team out to start a game. But there's a reason they brought him in. We're willing to make him their starter today. They believe he can overcome those nerves and lead his team to a victory. We saw him do it at the collegiate level and really make himself into a leader and someone you can envision doing the exact same thing here in the NFL.
And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great, because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
Throwing, dart. He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
Well, I'm quite sure that they envisioned a much better start to this game when they practiced all week, but they failed on that 3rd down play. That brings up 4th down, and they'll probably have to punt it away.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So here are the Jets now backed up to start their first drive. And they're led out by their mobile quarterback out of West Virginia. It's Geno Smith.
So this is what we find out about the game plan and the trust factor, don't we? In this situation, the natural thing is take care of the ball, run it inside. Everyone cover it. Just, get yourself some room and let your punter punt it out of there. But when you really got a QB you can trust, you might want to take a little shot early and try and create some space.
Breece Hall to the 20. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Breece Hall, 93 yards. And the Jets are on the board first here this afternoon. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stuff it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Now Cade York for the extra point. He's got it, and the Jets lead 7-0. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So the Giants getting the football back here for their second drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Now a 3rd and 6. Dart. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
19 yards. And a Giants first down. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
First down, here's Scatterby. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So in jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 43. On the right side, this is Austin with a catch. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 38-yard line.
Dart going to give to Scatterby. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
It's 3rd down and 6.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And this will be caught by Mooney. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots down the field.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
But you're going to tell me, good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage. And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
To the air once more is Dart. Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it's second down.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now 1 yard to go on third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try and run here with Scatteroo. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
It is caught at the 7-yard line. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They'll try to throw for it with Dart. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
The kick by Sanders is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Back on the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Now Hall to start the drive. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Big play from a big man, Kayvon Thibodeau, off the edge and dropping him behind the line. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. No chance to get away there for Smith as he goes down. It'll go as a sack, a loss of 3, and in turn, it takes us to a fourth down. A third and long, you knew that he was going to throw it. He just couldn't find anybody to throw it to.
Yeah, and it shouldn't have been a surprise, but that was perfect execution of their nickel defense. That fifth defensive back, the extra defender, he really tightened up things downfield in coverage, and they were able to get to him in the pocket.
So on fourth down, Austin McNamara comes on to punt. Deep to return is Calvin Austin. And he'll take it just outside the 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
On play action, here's Dart. Past the 20, and he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That one goes for 36 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Scatterman going to run it out of the gun. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
That's good power football on 1st and goal. A lot of teams will throw from there, but that's a nice job to chew up a few more yards and get yourself closer to the goal line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Looking to throw, Dart. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. A big win there defensively on 2nd and goal, a loss of 7, and it brings up 3rd.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. To throw is Dart. Looking for Austin, intercepted. Picked up by Jamie and Sherwood. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 11-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
New York's offense back out there and set to go. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Geno now to throw. And his throw here's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Geno. Over the middle, complete. It's Hall. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First down.
He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sack.
That's a ball he needs to let go of there. Wasn't the most time in the world to work through his progression, but NFL quarterbacks, they've got to sense the pressure. They've got that internal clock, and the ball has to be gone. And if you're not going to escape and run for it, you have to let it go before the pressure gets to you and puts you on the ground.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Back to throw here. To the left side, he's got the tight end Taylor. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Here's Austin McNamara now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Fighting through it, he's got space. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
An inside run with Scatterby. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. 78 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So close, couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down to the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your replacement, go back to the bench. No way. I'm not coming out of this game. I got it down to the 1-yard line.
Cam Scatterby. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Giants have taken the lead. Nice job of polishing off that drive, but all the credit there goes to that play prior.
Yeah, it certainly does, because after that big play, I think resistance almost felt futile at that point, didn't it? And the very next play, they come right back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, and put it in the end zone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 10-7. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. A little juke. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Off of play action. Here's Smith. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Here's Smith.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. That is caught. And he is going to have a Jets 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
21 yards. That's good for a Jets 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 47.
And partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. And he's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
11 more on that one and another 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point. Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Well, it looked like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Smith. In trouble, and he's taken down. Brian Burns with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Here's the Jets punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this 1st half as he gets it away. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
The Giants offense and their running back getting set to go once more. And he's been a tough man to stop in this 1st half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime.
What is this?
The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
2nd down and 4. Give up the middle, Scatterbo. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 92 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
And the Giants, first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll give it to Scatterbo.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 11 and a Giant first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
Again, it's Scatterbo.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Throwing from the gun here, Dart. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Dart.
And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
Here's Jordan Stout now.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And here's a fair catch taken at about the 24-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together.
He'll give it to Hall to start the drive.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
The Jets, first down. A gain of 14.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
To throw is Smith. His throw incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yes, let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Smith. And incomplete on the deep ball.
One first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Nifty move. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead, it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll start on the ground with Scatteroo.
And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Giants 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And a Giants 1st down. 1st and 10.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Dart going to look to throw here.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Joseph Osai.
Just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take-that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
To throw now, Dart. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
Absolutely nowhere to go with the football, and he's just going to put this one in the Hudson River. Maybe he's a little fortunate he didn't get called for grounding because that one was well over everyone's head.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Throwing his Dart. That's complete to Mooney.
And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
But I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we've got this covered. And then all of a sudden, space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line.
Another drive coming up for New York's offense.
The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Looking to put a drive together. They'll motion the tight end across the formation.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Here's Smith.
Over the middle and complete to Wilson.
10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Smith. Now and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Dexter Lawrence able to bust free and get to the quarterback. But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
He gets it underneath to Hall.
The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10.
To the air, Dart. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, Dart. Now he'll tuck this and run.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
It's a gain of 6.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
This now a 3rd and 4. Now Dart. He'll try and do this himself.
Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
7-yard gain.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
To throw is Dart. He'll dump this off to Scatterboo.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
39-yard line.
From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. Throwing his Dart. That one taken in by Neighbors.
The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Looking to throw, Dart. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
2nd and 10. To the air again, Dart. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
I tell you what, that's a veteran play from a guy in his first season in the NFL. A lot of rookies are trying to force something there. He thought better of it, and that was the right decision.
Here comes the 8th play of the drive, and they need a full 10 yards on 3rd down. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Jets are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And this one's still anybody's game. We'll see who can come out with a hot hand in this second half as we are about to get underway. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this 3rd quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in this second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Second half starts with a run by Hall. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And while the guys with the ball are having a whole lot of fun keeping it on the ground, the guys on the opposite side, they are having zero fun. They've been getting pushed around the entire game and haven't found an answer yet to slow down the running game.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
They'll go again with Hall.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Now Geno. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Good clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get them off the field with a 3 and out.
Here's the Jets punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Here's Austin. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And out will come the offense as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. On the ground, it's Scatterboo to start the drive. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
2nd down and 8. Throwing, Dart. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Dart. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Fair catch. Signal for
So out now come the Jets. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Geno now to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. Taken down. Back at his own 7. Dexter Lawrence able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
On 3rd down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the 1st down line. They were able to get him down and force the punt.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Giants ready to come out now. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Looking to put a drive together. That's complete. It's Neighbors. That'll go for a gain of 7. And it'll be 2nd down. Was that a design pass, or what was that?
It was built into the play call. He had the opportunity to either hand it inside, keep it himself to run it, or do what he just did. Throw that pass inside, hitting a receiver on the run.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3. They'll go play action here with Dart. And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Out of the gun, here's Dart. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. And he will have a Giants 1st down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
First
And the tight end
down.
is certainly a position built to move the
First and
chains
10
because
at
they
the
can control
43-yard
space
line.
underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
The tight end in motion right. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. They'll run from the gun with Scatteroo. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Working out of the gun is Dart. Looking deep here from Mooney. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will step out of bounds all the way down at the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You just had the feeling that sooner or later someone was going to come up with that one play. Neither team has really done a whole lot offensively, but here's one that pays off to the tune of big yardage, and it's one that could maybe get this group in gear.
And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Malik Neighbors from 4 yards out. And the Giants add 6 to their lead. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Jets 7.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Jets offense and Breece Hall headed out onto the field. And as you take a look at the numbers, you have to imagine he was the topic of the halftime talk for this defense. We've got to find a way to slow him down. That's probably what they're saying. But nothing that they have done has worked so far. The Jets offense ready to go in this Battle of New York. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. 120 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
2nd and 4.
This 2nd and 4. In motion left is Mitchell. They'll fake the handoff. Now Smith. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Kayvon Thibodeau, he beat the O-line and recorded the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's the Jets punter now as he's on here to punt it away. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4. The Giants offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Dart going to look to throw here. And this will be caught by Mooney. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 46-yard line.
Second and a couple. On the handoff, this is Scatterbo. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though. It's a quarterback sneak. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. The end result, 21 yards.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride, and I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm, they've been sharp, they've been on it, and they pick up another first down there.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Hang on a second here, because on that last play, it appears one of the Giants shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Second down and 6 now. Here's Dart. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Throwing his Dart. And it is caught. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Cam Scatterbo. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Giants will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Sanders on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The offense for the Jets ready to take over. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
153 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
As always, no rooting interest here, but that was pretty, wasn't it? To see him break through and then pick up his stride.
Yeah, the guy carrying the ball loves it. I think the O-line, they might like and take more satisfaction out of those runs than anybody else, right?
Without a doubt, because they're the ones that often have created it.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 35-yard line.
Before they can snap it, time runs out on this 3rd quarter of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter. Now it's Smith. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
They'll set up the screen for Hall.
They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
From the 25, here's a 2nd and 8. Now Smith. There's a short one. It's caught by Taylor. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing is Smith. And that is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Cade York on for the field goal. A 39-yard attempt.
York able to send this one through, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
Cade York.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. They juked him. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. And you've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. They'll set up the screen to Scatteroo. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Over the middle, taken in by Neighbors. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand. They're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Only a yard on the sneak, not enough, and he's a few inches short for 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Sanders' kick is good,
And that will extend their lead even further.
So that almost certainly the final piece to this puzzle, a 3-score lead. I don't think there's any coming back from there.
But you know, normally I'd get on you for giving up on the game right here, but I do think you're right in this case. This late in the game, 2 scores is tough enough. 3, I'm with you. That seems out of the question.
After knocking through the field goal, here's Gano back out there now for the kickoff.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And the complexion of this one has really changed a fair amount. That last field goal makes it a 3-score game, so they need points in a hurry with time dwindling in the fourth quarter.
Looking to put a drive together. Smith now to throw.
There's a short one. It's caught by Taylor.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
2nd and 6.
To throw is Smith.
That's complete. It's Adnan Mitchell.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Smith, an incomplete pass on 1st down. Now it's 2nd and 10.
On the draw, it's Hall.
And he's going to get this pretty close to the 1st down marker at the Giants' 41. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first 3 quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the 4th. But a nice 1st down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that'll make it 2nd down.
25-yard line.
Smith. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Dexter Lawrence getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go on 4th. Smith. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And he will at least be able to fall on it himself, but it was 4th down and the possession changes. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And it'll be a turnover on downs. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't. But if it's just all that's there and you just put your head and your shoulders down and get that, you get the respect of the big guys up front.
A good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Give the sack to David Onyemata, the product of Nigeria by way of Canada.
I thought there at the end he may have had a chance to release that, but that pocket closed a little too quickly, and down he went.
Yeah, he was certainly trying to do everything he could to extend the life of the play, probably counting in his head 1, 2, and then he ran out of time.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
To throw is Dart.
He's going to let this one go deep. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants.
Malik Neighbors
With his second touchdown of the afternoon. As his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the fourth quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like fourth quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Sanders now to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25. Another go-around now for the Jets offense. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on fourth down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a fourth down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
And the pressure gets there. He'll go down. It's a sack. And it is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. He's going to let it fly. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Looks like they're going to keep throwing to the bitter end. This one's long since over, but give them credit. They're going to go down fighting. That one, incomplete.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Smith. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's the Jets punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The other New York offense getting ready for their next drive. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the fourth quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
He was brought down
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. Here comes Mooney now in the jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs.
First and 10.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.